Lorena for Música y Mezcal. And we are here with Karina Morin. She's going to talk to us about her musical career, how it all started, how's it all going, plans for the future, and anything that will go throughout the conversation. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And in the meantime, yeah, you can just you can move it like without a problem.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Awesome.
Can you hear me?
I
Yeah.
can hear you perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I wanted to start by asking you. I know I did a little bit of professional stalking, if you will. And so I know you started your interest in music because of your dad. Your dad is a musician, and he identified really quickly as you were like very, very small. You were very little, that you had a really great pitch, which you still hold to this day. You have a great voice.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're one of the people that makes me poke out my head because I'm in the kitchen, so I can't really enjoy the show.
Oh, that makes me
thank you. Whenever you guys play, I'm like, oh, why can't I be like out there? Like, you have a great, amazing voice.
Thank you so much.
And I'm happy your dad identified that in you. And like now we have you, and we have your voice to enjoy.
Well,
so
he made
tell
me. Let's have a sip. Or no pressure, but I'm gonna have a sip.
Yeah. No,
cheers. What do you say?
Saludos.
Saludos.
Saludos. Yeah. Saludos. And this is how we do it actually in Mexico.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's mezcal.
Okay.
It's going to kick in. Like, it already started, but you're going to feel it later. It's going to be like...
It hit the back.
Yeah. Yep, that's how it goes.
I'm going to take a swig of this.
That's why we sip it. If you shot it, it's just like... It's hard. It's hard and... Yeah. And it makes you feel warm and fuzzy, so it's good for winter.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of a voice, my voice might be affected from that right now. Just for now. It'll go away. So yeah, my dad, he, I guess, would be very responsible probably for my musicality. My mother too.
Okay.
She has very good rhythm. She was a dancer.
Oh, so that's why you're also very interested into like performing, like the arts of,
My mother's like a creative artist.
Wow. Okay.
Fine artist grandmother on that side. And very good at movement. And my dad was a singer, musician, front person, played guitar.
Okay.
Soul music, huge. He loves soul music. He was brought up with Elvis, wanting to emulate that, but then got into rhythm and blues and blues players. And I guess he taught himself guitar, was in many bands, and I think he passed that along to me. Like, we probably in the womb listened to lots of amazing music, and I absorbed it. And
it's part of you.
It's like I said, it's part of my DNA.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and you totally like project that. So now, now I understand a little bit more about what I researched about you. And so he identified that in you. So he wasn't like, I imagine, because you have like a good memory of that. He wasn't like pushy. He would just like, you have a good pitch, you know how to sing.
Well,
so,
when I was a baby, like I would sing along with what I heard, and he heard back like, wow, she's singing the song almost perfectly, like 2 years old, that kind of thing. I didn't know the words. I was just like
babbling. Yeah. But like,
yeah. I was like, well,
the right key.
He turned his head. And so later on, I think for me, music and singing was always something so, I don't know, like I was protective of and very personal of. Mm-hmm. It's such an vulnerable place that's coming out. Yeah. And for me, I think I was very, I don't know, emotional as a child. So I'm just trying to like, understand my background right now as we're talking. But I think I was very shy, and I think I didn't want to feel pressured or disappointment.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm not up to a certain standard or level. Like I would look up to Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey and all these amazing, incredible singers, like aliens.
Yeah. I mean, but it is, I guess I understand that. I don't sing, of course. But it is a very vulnerable place to be in when you're
as soon as
singing,
I'm emotional, it's like the first place that it's affected. And I have to work on that. But I've sung at some celebrations of life or funerals. And that's really hard for me. Yeah. So I really appreciate people who are able to do that. Like I remember a long time ago, Elton John sang for Diana's funeral. Oh. And he did such an amazing job, and you didn't hear any crack in his voice. So yeah, I look up to like someone who's able to maintain that focus.
Yeah. I think I had once a conversation with my mom, cause I relate, a little bit with the whole, like being emotional. I am still very emotional. Paco can probably see, like, yes, she is. And I cry for things sometimes I just cry for things that are just so weird. And when I was a kid, I was like a lot more emotional, like a lot more. And my mom would usually, she would always tell me, like, as soon as you feel you want to cry, but you don't want people to see you cry, just like tighten your stomach. And I forgot that. I would just cry, and I would get angry at my mom, like at my mom, like why? Like I want to cry. Like why is there shame in crying? Why is it a shame in emotions? Like why can't I show what I feel? Like I just I want to be able to cry and people not to judge me. But then you sort of get that sense of like, well, yeah, maybe I should sometimes not show your emotions, but also show like, well, yeah, I'm emotional, but I'm just like you don't deserve to see that emotion from me. So
it's very private.
Yeah. So
some people don't have a problem just
letting it all out,
wearing their heart on their sleeve, as they say, and just letting it all out. But I feel like maybe because I'm a Capricorn.
Okay.
And they're very emotional internally, but on the external, it's just like cool and calm. Yeah. But meanwhile, it's a wreck inside.
Oh, yeah.
It's like screaming in the mind.
Yeah, well, I guess it's, yeah.
I've had that too. I've had that same thing growing up. Yeah. Like my parents thought I needed psychological help.
Yeah, because
they brought me to the, emotional. I was always like crying and very loud and emotional. And the psychologist at the end of a few sessions, she says, she's just a normal kid. She's just, like big emotions, personality. Yeah. So just let it be. And later, when I went to acting college, we had a teacher and she talked about how children are suppressed and people are suppressed with their emotions at a young age. And as an actor, you have to be very connected to that, to your emotions. So you have to actually do a little bit of therapy work in a way when you go to doing performing arts and acting. So
because you're on stage, so you have like...
And it can't be fake.
Yeah, because everyone will notice.
Yes.
Like, everyone, and right away. It's like, it's too obvious. So you have to be like almost perfect.
Well, it has to be like real, and it's usually something that you think about that you can relate from your past. And you do that in music too. Like, sometimes if I'm writing a song and it's not directly about me, but it's about a situation that I know of that, affects me or makes me emotional. Mm-hmm. Like I just have to, in the moment, before I go to sing the song, for it to come out naturally and feel natural, I would want to relate to whatever emotion or the story,
the
as
song
I'm singing
wants
the
to
lyrics.
talk about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That makes more sense, more than trying to be perfect on stage.
Yeah.
More about like, being real and trying to portray that emotion by feeling it.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes learning in the process. Because some people are natural with it. Like we said, they don't mind just being this,
Just being big.
yeah, or bleeding, like just, I shouldn't say that, but I'm triggered right now. Just what happened in the news the other day.
Oh, are you talking about in the US? Like
here.
Or here, yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry, it is a sensitive subject, but yeah, some people are able to just bear themselves naturally, and it takes some people practice and experience to be able to peel, like they said, peel the onion layers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it does make sense for kids to be or try to be that way and then to later be like suppressed.
Yes.
But you didn't have that. Like your dad was like,
Well,
like you're being emotional, but like you can sing, so just like channel it or.
yeah, I think I only discovered that piece later on, like just connecting the emotion with singing. For me, singing was it was an art, but kind of like ballet is an art, like striving for that perfection and polish. But I think later on, as I discovered like performing arts and acting and understanding how to connect our emotions to the performance, that came later for me in a way. So
was there a change in your music? Like when that realization like came to hit home for you?
I think so. I think there was a change in the way I delivered music, in the way I would write certain, words. Yeah, I mean, definitely the music that I love. It feels good on the body to move, but it also is very beautiful to sing, and then there's heart behind it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's this very famous Uruguayan singer that I love. And he talks about like three, I don't know what to call it, like three stages of performing. And so he says that he is really bad at dancing and that like something that is like the best artists are those who can like, sing, really, play the music, sorry,
Right.
and dance, and that's like the holy trinity. And he talks about this, like how it's like the greatest musicians are the ones that can like dance and perform.
Really?
And I was like, oh, that's like a really cool way of seeing it.
Yeah. That
you
is
have
so
it.
interesting.
You
Oh,
have
thank you.
You have it, and
I appreciate
think that like it all makes sense now. Like you're interested in the performing arts. You studied that. It also helped you connect like your mind, like heart, and like the whole like body.
Yeah. And I did train and dance as well.
So so it makes all the sense now.
Yeah. I guess so.
And it's also like if you describe yourself as someone who is very emotional, I guess it makes more sense to be able to try to give that out in different ways and not just singing, because you have a big voice.
Oh, thank you.
But so it's not just that, you have like big presence, and so it's like all things are fall into one, and it's like really great.
Yeah,
to see
I
you.
think if I'm feeling really free, then I can be that big person.
Yeah.
And I have to just get out of my way. And then there's a lot of times where I really worked on my performing, and I really worked on my my shyness. I've talked about that before, how I was just painfully shy. And I guess maybe from childhood, I was, because we were both talking about that, how we suppressed like the emotion. I think maybe it might have contributed to being shy.
Yeah.
Because, the other way of me being is not
Acceptable.
It's not acceptable, or it's embarrassing or something. Yeah. So possibly internalize it. So I was always shy, and I worked a lot on releasing the shyness and being able to just be that person on stage. Because in real life, I have good days and bad days, but like on a really good day where everything's flowing, I'm like that. And I connect with people and I smile and, I'm open and I guess we're all like that. And some days when it's really raining and like just looking down, the chest is down, the head is down.
And everyone is just small, like in general, because of the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. Because we because I've trained in dance, like this is, and physical theater, this is such a big thing. Like the normal population, I would say, we're starting to cave a little bit forward. And it's very bad for our connection.
Like posture.
For the posture.
Now that you're saying, I'm like,
it's not only the posture, like it looks better, obviously, but you have access to your breath, your column. You have access to your belly.
Yeah.
And you have access to your hips and that lower region, like your lower chakras. Mm-hmm. And you're able to connect your motion and speak with more intention. And there's so many things that's connected to posture that we don't even think about. It's amazing.
No, you're right. I talked about this with Lua very recently, actually. And I told her that I learned, they teach us how to be small. Like very often. So we're just like taught to be small and just like, like
it's protection.
Yeah. Cause you just, I don't know. So they teach us how to be small and you forget that like, it's not who you are. It's just what you've been taught. And whenever, I discovered this because I remember I had 2 shitty bosses, men. And one of them was like, I don't know, he yelled at me and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't really respond the way I would have loved to. But after that, I was like, I really need to get better to like not taking shit from anyone, like right away. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how I got into this rabbit hole about the whole like posture. And so I noticed that like guys are taught to be big and they're taught to like take up space and it changes everything in how you speak, like what you said, how you speak, your confidence, how like people even like perceive you, everything.
It's
so, yes. So now every time if there's like, I don't know, I can speak normally with whomever, but whenever someone's trying to like be aggressive with me or tries to like, I don't know, just be aggressive or be mean, I immediately start like I put like my feet like are like wide and I start speaking like this and I'm
the power stance.
Right? And it totally works. Like you can see
does.
immediately when like either, especially like guys, when I do that with guys are just like, oh no, well, and they start, and I'm like, exactly.
But there's but even the position of our body, the head is connected to the heart and the throat, and everything's all connected, and you're just able to be grounded as well. So you're just like fully connected in that moment.
Yeah.
No one can F with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's, and maybe.
Have you ever done that? Like, well, I'm pretty sure you have. Like when you're on stage,
I have
when
to
you're
do
like,
that.
I have to hit that note. I had to hit that key. And
I actually have to do that more often than I think sometimes on stage because I'm the only female in my band. And sometimes if I try to cue the band and I do it in a way that's not clear and not connected and a little bit apologetic,
like,
they don't listen to me.
Can you? Yeah.
Yeah. Can we like chill out on the drums right now? Because I'm trying to sing.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Or like being very clear. And I feel like if I have the good posture and I'm connected and I'm confident, then they'll listen to me. Otherwise, no one pays attention.
Yeah. Which is okay. So it's good that you're like aware of that because like you can use it in your for your own benefit and not in a way that makes less out of anyone. Just your own space.
Yeah, I think just taking your space and you have value, you matter, and knowing that intellectually and internally and actually physically doing it.
Yeah, and you've reflected to
Mm-hmm.
other people, so it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I need to give her space.
Body
I guess.
language. Well, they say 90% of communication is visual, or is the way a brain processes. So that's body language, and I think it's so important. And then, relating back to music, when we go out to listen to music, we also want to watch. So that's something that I'm conscious of as well. Yeah,
that's why I poke my head. Because I want to watch. I'm listening to really like something really good, and I want to watch.
I hope next time you throw down your spatula.
Yeah,
go on the dance floor.
I will. I really, really, really want to. And so when you started, you mentioned you were like painfully shy, and you've been working through that.
Oh yeah.
But you had like friends along the way, one especially who pushed you into a contest. Are you still friends with them? Or
I have so much love for her, and I kind of keep in touch in a way on Facebook. We don't, do phone calls.
You don't hang around. Yeah.
She lives in another city. She lives in Montreal, and our lives are very different, but I always, send her love, and her and her family, and yeah.
She pushed you to.
She did.
How was that?
She's
how was
a
that
pushy
moment?
person. She was a Leo. She was my best friend growing up, and I told her, "I'm a singer. I want to sing." And she said, "What? You never told me that." I said, "Yeah," and I was so like,
"Why did I tell you?" But
she's like, "Okay, sing for me." I'm like, "No." I remember this. We were in my hallway or in my entrance of my house, and there was good acoustics there. So I just started to sing a song, and then it'd get louder and louder and louder and belted. And she didn't say anything until the end. She's like, "Okay, this is what we're going to do. You're going to audition for the thing. You're going to do this." She was just like, she had all these plans for me. Like, oh my God.
And now I'm going to be your manager. And you're like,
Pretty much. She came with me. We went to go select the songs. I was too nervous. It was like a radio contest thing in the mall in front of, all my friends and family, and in this, the suburbia mall. Oh my God,
but
it was
people,
so embarrassing.
People there, people that you did not want you to see.
In like broad daylight, like bright.
And how did you feel afterwards?
I'm glad I did it. I felt good. I was nervous. I couldn't talk to anybody. I couldn't eat. Like if somebody would ask, like my mom would ask me a question while she's driving me to the contest, like, "Don't talk to me."
Like I want to throw up. Like,
yeah. But I'm glad I did it, and I pushed myself, and I got some good feedback from other contestants. And so we had to do a few performances on our way up to the end of the competition. And I think I flubbed the last one. I was just so nervous. So nervous.
How old were you?
I was 14.
Oh, yeah, you were very young.
But now I see these kids on like American Idol. They're like 9 years old. Like, I wish I was like that. But I'm a late bloomer, like I say. So I flubbed the last one, and I started crying, and I went to my mom, and I went into her lap, and she was like patting my head. And these two other girls came up to me. It was a sister and her friend of another contestant. And they said, "You know what? You did so well. You have such a beautiful voice. Keep going." They were so sweet. And they said that all in front of my mom. And I was like, "Oh my God, thank you."
Like, you're so nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So these are the kind of people, like my friend and those people, are just different people on the way that are kind of my angels that just keep reminding me, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it.
Yeah. I spoke with another musician earlier, and she told me, like, yeah, I've been discouraged so many times, and it is sometimes like heartbreaking and hard and difficult. And
you get your heart broken.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can only imagine. But it's nice to have then, those people along the way that, as you say, they were your angels, and they had a kind word for you in that moment that really made you feel like, okay,
huge. Yeah. It made such a difference. And, just like that just builds up. And sometimes if you don't feel it inside, it's beautiful that somebody comes over, with the kindness of their heart. And,
because they don't need to tell you.
No.
So it's like, it's honest, it's genuine, it's real.
Absolutely.
And it makes you feel like, okay, so right now I feel bad, but
like after one performance, my husband and I, we play often together. He's a keyboard player. And we were playing a gig at a place that I will not mention. But a lot of the musicians in the city, they're kind of, I don't know, they're over it. So I won't say anything more. But after one performance in particular, I was just feeling drained and felt like no one cares. I'm just part of the wallpaper, that kind of gig.
Yeah. Okay.
This man came up to me and he wrote me this long letter, and he just went on and on and on. It's like, your voice reminds me of this and that. And he just, I don't know, he did this poetic kind of letter to my voice, and I put it on my wall and stuck it up there. I still have it there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. A love letter to your voice.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot. Yeah.
And
that means
some recommendations of songs that I think that he thinks would sound nice on my voice as well. And
wow.
Yeah. It was very
cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word,
it's just awesome.
Yeah.
And then after you did the contest, like, did you got into like any singing lessons, or was your dad still like your mentor? Like, when did you decide like, okay, I want to do like singing lessons, or I want to do, I don't know, play an instrument or whatever?
So my dad signed me up for singing lessons. And for me, I was very uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't want anybody to hear me and critique my voice. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just so, like I said, I was so very shy and sensitive that I was even scared to go to a singing teacher. But I went, and the first singing teacher that we tried, she was just of a different generation and giving me this music that I just could not. I could not do it. And I said, I don't know if I want to go back to her.
I don't feel that music. I don't like.
Yeah. But then he found this amazing teacher. She's wonderful. And so we did songs that were maybe more like soulful and just more the style that I want to do. And she was a little bit younger, so I could relate to her, and just a sweet gal. And then I did a few lessons with her, a couple sessions or more. And then I had different teachers going on from that. I had a jazz teacher. I'm trying to remember her name. This is so long ago. Her last name was Poe. But she had a very different and unique approach to singing lessons. It wasn't technical, but it was in a different way, where she would use analogies a lot.
Okay.
And like pulling into your power. And then we worked on scatting and how to riff and how to be like spur of the moment. That was so much fun.
Okay. And how old were you?
I think at that point I was around 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were a little less shy by then.
Yeah. I felt really comfortable with these people, and it was starting to blossom there.
Starting to stretch a little bit.
Yeah. And my teacher found out in high school that I sang. And so because of him, I really felt like such an electric experience on stage. I had a full jazz band behind me of professional musicians, like retired gentlemen, but the most like wonderful
Nevertheless,
feeling. Nevertheless, the most wonderful feeling having this big orchestra behind me. So that was just an incredible experience for me as a singer, developing. And I just got addicted to that feeling. I wanted to feel it again and again. And
Was that the moment when
fun.
you decided like, or you thought like, I can really make a living out of this? Or was it more like, this is just so fun, but it's still just fun?
Yeah, I would think I was somewhere in the middle. I never knew I could make an actual living out of it. That was something that I think I disregarded to later. But I knew is something that I don't want to say I belonged there. It sounds.
I just knew.
It was so dramatic, but but it was like that feeling where it just goes clunk.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah, this is
Home,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Very
if it's part of you, then like I guess it's just really hard to think like, no, I can't really do it. Like it's part of you. It's part of who you are. Part of like how you conduct yourself in this world. You're like, you need to express. So if the opportunity was there, it's like, well, yeah, of course I was going to take it. I just didn't mindfully think about like, I'm going to do it just because like, well, it's natural. It's more natural than maybe thought.
Well, I feel like I'm able to separate that from myself sometimes, you know,
Okay.
like I have all these different facets of me and personas, and I have my stage person.
Yeah.
I have my interview person. I have my, it's not that I'm putting it on. It's just that because I'm introverted, I just need to press the button and dial it up for the moment. And then I need to go and like rest for a day.
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
It's there, but it's just like you have to turn up the dial.
It's like I have a certain dose of so not gonna spill it all away. So
yes. Yes. Don't like that spilling. My husband he's an extrovert, so he gets energy, so much energy from me. Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Like bouncing energy from trying to bounce energy from other people.
And I love it too, but definitely feel like I need to recuperate or rest or like regenerate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider myself introvert, but I don't think I'm an introvert. But I do also like I have those moments when I'm just like I don't want to see anybody. I don't even want to listen to music. I just want to like
Same.
like I just need to be
Do
by
nothing.
myself.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's nice to hear silence and just be like
Same.
yeah, listen to my thoughts.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't really want that, but sometimes it's like I don't want any external noise. Just my own.
Yeah.
So
Definitely same. I can totally relate, especially after a string of gigs where everything's just loud music and
intense and
just I can't even drive with music on in the car after that. Just
that makes sense. Yeah. And how is your process like when I know you're writing a bunch with your husband actually. Yeah. And so you started writing a bunch of songs with him, and this was during COVID. Do you still feel like you still have that sort of momentum going on, or is it like, well, I already opened the Pandora box, and it's more like it's all out, and I'm learning to control it and be like, okay, today I have one of my introvert moments, but I want to be able to create and maybe write something.
So with the writing, it's not I would say my first
Rodeo.
Well, that too, but actually I feel like it's always my first rodeo with writing because it's not my first medium. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
So I'm just like a physical person or colors on a painting. When it comes to writing words, I actually do enjoy it, but it's not my first thing that I reach for is the pen. Okay. I'm trying to get better at that. But for me, like I'll go for a stint of writing for several months and then not write at all.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
what
I
do
have
you
the
do when you like? Do you do a rhythm like a?
How do I
Yeah.
approach a song? Yeah. Usually how it happens is it'll come from the music first. And that will definitely put me in a mood or a thought. And I'll play a movie in my head of something like a story.
Okay.
Yeah. And then a rhythm and a melody will come out from the voice. And then sometimes a word will come out. And most of it is not actual words. It's like humming or gibberish. But a word will come out. Oh, it sounds good there. This word sounds really good at that point in the song. It just, so it's a process of uncovering as well. It's a puzzle.
Peeling an onion.
Yeah, the onion or chipping away at the
at the egg.
At the egg or the I'm trying to think like the sculpture, the marble.
Yeah, that's a better analogy. I did terrible analogies.
Eggs work too. Onions, eggs. I know you're a food person, so it works. So it's kind of mysterious the way it all kind of comes together, really. But it does happen with the music. And then I'll go to sing like a melody. And some words come out, some don't make sense. And then I write around that idea. It's a sketch.
Okay.
Yeah. And I try and place in words that fit and try to make it follow a story, beginning, middle, and an end. And then the bridge. Sometimes there's no bridge.
Do you have a moment of like inspiration, like during, I don't know, like sudden, like you're just like walking and
driving.
You saw someone and then you're like, whoa, like that would be a great story. Just saw, I don't know, someone handing a paper and you're like, oh, it looks like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. For me, like I'll get an inspiration. It's very random. I'm driving, definitely.
Okay.
A line of text. Oh, that really it's interesting. I had a line of text on my way here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. Or a melody. And then I'll go into my phone and record it.
So you also, and do you have like this, do you later move it to your, I don't know, to your laptop and then have like, okay, this is,
sometimes
this is blue and this is,
right,
orange or whatever. And I'm going to, translate this now into this idea of something, this blue is now going to be something sad, or this orange is going to be something like happy and dancey and.
Right. I actually haven't worked like that. I would like to.
It's too like organized and meticulous.
Yeah.
Takes too
but
much
I think
time.
that would be great. If I guess I'm working on my production skills myself. I've always just been more of an organic type of singer, but I think having tools at your fingertips is a fantastic way of getting your creativity out and progressing quicker. I'm working on that, but mostly it's just like notes on my phone or write down in a notepad. And then if I'm with people that I usually write with, sometimes I'll take out the notepad and see if any of those lines will fit. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, you can't force it. And it's different every time. It's like every song is different, really. Yeah.
Well, that's good. You
There's
don't have,
one,
you don't have just a big, gray, I don't know what the word is, but like big, just like a big bunch of gray songs, they're all different.
Oh, yeah. And I don't write songs like from top to bottom, like I'll just keep some, like there's spots that are open and then I'll just put in a line that
to complement into
the rhythmically it'll fit, but it's a filler line until I find oops, I keep touching this microphone. I should be used to it by now. A filler line that goes, and I know that I'm going to replace it when a better one comes along that feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, did you ever write when you were like a teenager, when you were like, so when you had all these professors and teachers, like singing teachers, were you already like, doing some music or?
No, not at all.
Okay. You're trying to find your voice, trying to like.
I was just trying to, exactly, find my voice as a singer first. And I don't think I knew that I was capable of writing songs.
Okay.
I didn't know.
When did you realize?
Well, I'd
figure you like, if you're very emotional, like, and like.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah.
You would
but
think.
it's, I guess it's at the same time, if you're introverted, it's like, well, it's just different to process that into something physical or.
Yeah, I guess. I think later on as I was, I got older and I started to kind of do my own modalities of therapy and creative therapy. And have you heard of The Artist's Way by Julie Cameron? It's this workbook, and it's basically teaching the world that everybody is creative, everybody is an artist. We're just all suppressed. And I remember I just got the book and read the first 10, 20 pages. And I felt like I could put the book down because it just like solved my.
You're like, yeah, I don't need to read the rest.
It was like, just mind blowing.
Wow.
Like therapy within, but basically, like there's different activities that she tries to encourage you to do, like morning pages. Every morning you write, automatic writing, just subconscious.
Oh, okay.
You can't filter yourself. You can't edit yourself. Mm-hmm. Just write whatever, like buy 3 eggs at the store. Okay, Susie said this to me yesterday. Whatever comes out, so that you can clear your channel. You can clear your head so that when the real creative stuff comes, you're not all jumbled in your head.
There's no white noise.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's lots of purposes, and that's one of them. So I guess as I was doing the morning pages and writing again, I said, oh yeah, I used to like to write stories when I was a kid, but I never tried music. I don't know why.
Oh.
I guess I just never thought I was good enough to write it. Or I think I tried once and I'm like, this sucks. And then I never tried again. Oh, terrible. But I could just force myself to do it. And I went to songwriting circles. And when I first moved to Vancouver, and I was just exposed to more songwriters here. And I think there is a more of a community of like singer-songwriters in Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
So I met a singer-songwriter and at one of these events, and I submitted my song and I sang it. I sang it a cappella because I didn't have a guitar to play with it. And so we spoke after the session, and he said, let's just, like write and see what comes of it. And I did that because I knew that I needed to improve. And I read books on songwriting. I went to seminars. And so I just tried to educate myself as much as I could, like fast track. Yeah. Okay, how do I do this? Okay, ABA, what's this? Like know your song formats. But that's pop music. And now there's like pretty much no rules. There's no rules. There's no rules. But it's good to know the rules. And if there are,
just break them.
Yeah. Know the rules and break them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a fun learning process, and I enjoy it. But it's really tough, I find, for me sometimes to write a good song.
I mean, and I guess it happens in probably every craft. Like, practice makes perfect, and
absolutely,
there's a bunch of things that you're going to create and you're not going to be happy with it, but then there's going to be that one piece that you're just like, this is exactly what I wanted like it to be. So or
near perfect.
Or near perfect. Because imperfections are also part of us and part of what makes us
the inner critic.
And what makes us relate to each other as well. The imperfections.
That's true.
No?
That is true.
because we judge ourselves very hard.
Yeah.
So if someone else is imperfect in the same way you are imperfect, then it's like, okay, so it's not that bad.
Yeah. And I think also by sharing our works with the world, even if they are imperfect, allows other people to feel included.
Seen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And to
totally.
do it too as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you needed a little bit of a, someone to maybe that,
Yeah.
or was there someone like that when you were?
I don't know. I don't think so. Not that I can think of right now, but yeah, I think with social media and YouTube, like yeah, I feel like I watch a lot of different artists on there, and they're just so open and able to share like their personal self out there, and that inspires me. I don't know if I'm like fully able to do that and ready.
Well, I mean, it's also, I don't know, I guess when you grow up with it, it's just easier because that's what you've been taught as something to be normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder, maybe it's harder for us to be able to do that on social media, but that doesn't mean it's like wrong,
Right.
It's like,
right.
yeah,
it's not wrong.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it doesn't feel as natural to do that.
Yeah.
It feels weird. It still feels weird, but it still inspires me though to try and share my own
just be
stuff.
able, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think there's positive and negatives with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And
that's how I met you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I can't really shame social media.
It's true. I've met some really great people on there. So
yeah. Well, yeah, it is nice to meet you. It is nice.
Nice.
Happy to make
do
your
this again.
Yeah. Maybe, one that doesn't hurt your throat.
I'm going to try some more.
Mm-hmm. We do like sip. That's why it's like, I don't know. It slides
Wet
better.
the lips.
Yeah.
Just wet the lips.
Yeah. Yeah, we say like with like besitos, which is little kisses. Like you just give little kisses to it.
Besitos?
Besitos. Yeah.
Besitos. I love it.
So it's like little sips, but it's like little kisses. So you're just and that's how you don't go like
yeah, I think my technique I needed to shift it a little bit because the first one I drank a little too much and it went right there.
Right.
But the besitos is perfect.
Yeah.
Baiser.
Yeah.
En français.
Yeah, that's true. Or bisous.
Bisous.
Yeah, bisous.
Yeah.
So I know that you also, I did a little bit of a dig deeping on your performances in Canadian Idol.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is that online?
That's what I was trying to find. It is online, but not.
Tried to find it.
It's the first thing that comes up when I put your name on. Oh yeah, Canadian Idol.
Canadian Idol.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to say. Can we move on? Yes.
I mean, because you had something really good out of it, right?
You know what? I'm really happy I did it. I'm really happy. I don't know why I had this strong urge. I need to do it. And so I did it. I convinced my girlfriend who sang with me in a group. And this was after the group broke up and she went on her solo career. And we, at the time, weren't really doing much in music. And I said, let's just go and do this.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. It'll be fun. We'll bring sandwiches.
At least we'll have the sandwiches. Whatever happens, we'll have a good sandwich.
The best sandwiches. Because it's a long day and it's a lot of waiting. So I brought my food and we just like sat in line like crazy people, like cattle, cattle, like all day. So finally, at the end of the day, we got, called into the rooms and it wasn't the real judges. It was the preliminary judges.
Okay.
Some production staff. So you have to go through the production staff, and they made me sing a couple songs, and I got through. And so then the next round was to sing on TV in front of the judges, and that was freaking crazy because I didn't know what to expect. You walk into the room and it's jarring. Like the lights, kind of like this, but now I'm used to it.
You're like, hit it.
Hit it.
Yeah.
But then it was just like lights and then all these people in the room behind, right?
And they're already staring.
And everyone's like, you're like, okay, sing your songs. So I sang a bunch of songs. They didn't air it all on TV, but the two artists loved me.
Okay.
The two business guys, they're like, yeah, you're all right.
You're like, whatever.
I still got through.
Yeah.
I still got through, but it just wasn't what they were looking for.
I mean,
but I'm so glad I did it because I hired a teacher to help me get over my nerves. And a couple sessions with her, she said, there's an opportunity that I think you might want to do. And it's too bad that you're doing Canadian Idol. I'm like, what? What is it? What is it?
Where do I sign?
She's like, you get to tour in Europe, and it's this like amazing singer doing backup singing. Like,
sign me up.
Sign me up. Yeah. So I'm like, who cares about this stupid Canadian Idol thing? And I was actually hoping that I would lose. And I went home on the train, the second audition there. Mm-hmm. Like I went to Toronto after that TV one. And then I went to Toronto by the train. And then I was like, yes, I'm going home. I get to sign up for this tour. And I called them up. Like I'm in. I auditioned. And there was like 25 other female singers auditioning that day. And I learned the songs back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. And I knew every harmony. So if they can ask me on the spot, sing a third above, sing a fifth, like whatever, I knew it.
I got it.
And it was in French and like really quick French. And so I did have to practice quite a bit of the pronunciation. So my French is not perfect, but that was so cool. They chose me, and that was the most amazing experience. Like really feeling like, oh, what's that show? Something amount of feet, 30 feet to stardom. It's about the backup singers.
Yeah.
It was like that, like singing these huge, freaking massive theaters and the crowd, like,
yeah.
wow. And I felt so cool because I was part of the band. It was interesting, like not to be necessarily like the lead, the star, but like
you get to appreciate it, I guess. Yeah.
I was like the support of the star. And that was really cool experience. Wow. That was awesome. Yeah.
Where'd you get to go touring in Europe?
We went to France, all over France, because it was French R&B singer. Then we went to some of the French colonies. So we got to go down to Martinique, Guadeloupe.
Wow.
We went to Réunion Island, which is off of Madagascar. Like this tiny little island. Like, wow. It's a very long flight, but it was really cool. And what's crazy is the week after we left, I think the volcano erupted on that island.
Oh my God. So like just in time.
Just in time. But I don't think it was severe.
Like devastating. Yeah.
No. But it was such a cruel experience to travel. Like that's all I wanted to do when I was a kid is travel. Like I used to fantasize about traveling, and I knew that work, like if I manifested it, that with my work, I would get to go travel and see the world.
And it happened.
Yeah. It actually, that whole series was all me putting something out into the universe and manifesting, because I applied to go to school out here in BC, and tuition was like, let's say $12,000. And that contract paid me exactly $12,000. So I can afford to come out and do the school. And it was just all like boom, boom. Like it was just very, like in the flow, like this whole
Yeah.
series of all the events that happened to get me from Montreal and then touring and then out to BC to do the performing arts school.
Wow.
So yeah. And then I moved here and I stayed, well, I was in Victoria and then I moved to Vancouver and I said, I'm just going to reinvent myself. You know, all my friends back home are getting married and having babies and I'm not ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I haven't pursued and haven't given myself enough of a chance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to live here and put my roots down and meet as many musicians as I can and just sing at as many opportunities I can as well. And so, yeah. So that's how it all happened. I did 2 years in Victoria at the school and it was great. It was very crazy, intense.
And so you did the whole like program.
Yeah.
And then when did you start playing with Coco Jafro?
So I started playing with Coco Jafro maybe a couple years after I moved to Vancouver.
Okay.
Yeah. When I first moved to Vancouver, actually, I was struggling a lot. I just was so new to the city and just getting used to everything. And I guess I didn't really feel like I felt like it was hard to get to know people at the time.
Okay.
It's a hard city sometimes to infiltrate.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. I feel like I'm very lucky because I work at Guild.
Yes.
So I didn't really feel that as much.
Yeah, there wasn't as much of a community at the time. And I think it's only started in the last
few years. Like,
yeah, 5 to 8 years.
Okay.
But before then, I just didn't find my people, the music.
Like your tribe, yeah.
Yeah. But I played with a lot of great players and I've met so many amazing musicians and, you know, people that I can just hire and call to this day. And like, let's
do this gig.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah.
It's a great feeling to know, really talented musicians and they respect you and there's a mutual respect. So that was a big thing. That was very important for me as well.
And so now you're so Kärma Sounds.
Yeah.
Is it like your new alias? Why Kärma Sounds? Why did you decide to like, okay, I'm gonna do this solo. This is gonna be my thing. What made you arrive to like that moment when you were like, okay, I'm gonna do this now, or this as well?
Yeah, exactly. With Kärma Sounds, I think I didn't know that, you know, I could be my own solo project and be in bands. And I've seen other singers do that really well. And so I felt like that is possible for me. And why not me? I never felt like I was ready to go solo. But I guess during the pandemic and a little bit before then, it was getting stronger and stronger that I need to kind of create myself as an entity or brand myself or however you want to say it, and really solidify myself, not just the girl in the band or in that band, and just basically take my name wherever I go. So the Kärma Sounds came about more solidified during the pandemic when we started writing and creating this project. The name Kärma is based a little bit on my name, Karina Morin, like some of the letters.
Oh, right.
And actually, my husband came up with it. He's very intelligent. He's very bright. But, you know, he's been observing me and he knows me so well over the years. And I have a lot of different passions and, you know, in the healing modalities as well. And I did certification in therapeutic dance for women, Reiki healing. I was always very interested in the healing arts and kind of metaphysical things, crystals and yoga.
That whole world.
Yeah, a little bit of the new age. It was so new to me, I guess, when I came out here to Vancouver, more so than in Montreal. It's not as, I guess, as I wasn't as exposed to it there. And I got more exposed to it here. And I got into it quite a bit. And I guess maybe I've pulled back a little bit over the years, but I have like a nice broad global, I guess, I don't know.
Concept or like perception of it.
And through my own healing as well. And, my manifesting journey on
all that's happened. All the series of really fortunate events.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I put that energy and the Reiki and all that into my music, not necessarily writing about it, but
like the energy
of it. It's just that positive energy. And I'm not necessarily singing about happy things all the time necessarily, but I infuse that into my sound, and I bring back sounds from my past that I love, music and artists that I really gravitate towards, and infuse that into my sound. And that's kind of how Kärma Sounds was born. And for me, Kärma Sounds, I don't know if it's like me necessarily as an entity. It's also like, Kärma Sounds would be the band, the musicians that come into, it's a project name.
Okay.
So, I guess I'm kind of developing that now as we speak, the brand, the Kärma, what is Kärma Sounds?
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm excited.
Me too. I'm excited too. Yeah. It's a fun process. It's very creative. And, I'm very happy and blessed that I get to be creative.
Yeah. Well, you deserve it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so what are your plans for the near future? Like you're playing with Coco Jafro, and you guys are amazing, like amazing. And you have this project now, Kärma Sounds. You did a bunch of writing. You did your own like crowdfunding.
Yeah.
And so what's next for you?
So my plan is to release my EP album in the next few months. And I've been re-recording with some great producers and filmed some videos. And I'm just kind of filling up my vault. It's really hard not to share everything that I have, but I want to make sure that I'm releasing it
in its own time
and in a good pace. I don't want to just release a song and then have like crickets for many months and like, hold on guys, it's coming. So that was kind of the plan. So releasing it as I go and just keep creating and keep working on and hashing out the sound of the album.
Okay.
Yeah, because I guess I have like a high expectation of how I want it to sound, but I'm not saying I'm a perfectionist at all, but I have like a strong like idea of what I want it to sound like. Yeah,
because it's yours, so you should get to expect that.
Yeah, but it's like my first album too, so I have to kind of
also be nice to yourself. Yeah.
Be kind.
Yeah.
To my inner child.
Yeah. Give yourself your own like kind words and
yes. Yeah. Exactly. So and I'm still singing with Coco Jafro. We have some awesome festivals booked this summer, and I'm going to be probably doing some Kärma gigs coming up in, I would say, late summer, early fall. So I'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah.
Probably at Guilt & Co.
Yeah.
I'll be calling you.
I'm going to book it all.
Yeah. We're going to book that date.
Yeah.
So it'll just, I think booking the date gives me that motivation to actually make a really good show and actually do it. And So that's coming up, and yeah, it's sort of like, yeah, it feels like you're birthing a new life into the world.
Well, it sort of is.
It's in the gestating period.
Yeah, and it sort of is, because you definitely probably go through like some painful moments.
Yes.
And like, so yeah, I
anxiety.
I believe
A lot of anxiety and then overwhelm
but and like, no, I really want this, and then like expectation, like really nice, longing for it to happen, and then like denial, like no, I just want to give up, or
no, I just have to. Me and whoever is, in this industry, we just have to be kind to ourselves.
Yeah.
And do what feels right. So, yeah. Has to feel right. Has to, if we, put too much pressure on ourselves, then no good comes out of it, I find.
It's not going to be real.
It's not going to be real. And you're just, the wrong intention is behind it. It's like this deadline and you're rushing it. Can't rush art.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
I used to hear people say that and didn't really know what it meant, but I definitely know what it means now.
Yeah, so don't rush it then. I'm excited to hear it in its own time.
Yeah. I'm excited to share because it's just waiting to like burst.
Yeah. Burst open.
Yeah. Only a few people have heard it, like my my husband, of course, he's writing it with me, but my family and a few close confidants.
Okay.
Yeah. Like my video director, of course. And
wow.
Yeah. So I'm excited to like actually put together, how am I going to release it and what's it going to look like visually and all that.
Which is a whole nother.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. I'm exhausted now.
All the things. We have to wear so many hats. I was just talking about this the other day too, with another singer, how we just have to wear so many hats as an independent artist. Yeah,
especially now. I guess like you have to learn all these new trades and tricks and
definitely.
Yeah. So
I actually studied graphic design in part of my like first college experience.
Oh, okay.
So I have a little bit of that background, and so I'm a stylist for women. I actually do that as a business as well. Like I started that before the pandemic, and so I help other artists. I help entrepreneurs, people like with their wardrobes. But I try to do that with myself. But I actually have a friend who's a stylist who's amazing, and she helps me.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you're really connected.
It's really great to know creative people, and you could do trades.
Yeah.
As well. Help each other out.
Do you find you have like muses maybe that you're like, oh, whenever I'm around this person, it's just like, I have a big, like mass of energy that I just want to do something with it. I want to create with it.
Different creative people spark that in me. I actually met this girl who sang at Guilt & Co. We met backstage.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Kara.
Oh, okay.
She's a great singer. Wow. Yeah. And songwriter. And we had this awesome coffee date the other day, and she totally inspired me, and we're going to collaborate. Cool. And I think it's so healthy to do that, because we also talked about all of our gripes too, and it just was so nice to feel that you're not alone, and everybody goes through the same kind of struggles. Yeah. So it was really nice to connect with another female artist. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's nice then.
Yeah, I think it's great. She was saying she had a hard time a long time ago meeting other female artists. But this time around, she came back to Vancouver, and she's starting to meet people, and it's like, it's a good batch of people.
Yeah. It's not the bad batch.
Yeah. It's like everything has cycles, I guess, right? And I think now our city is more popular more than ever, and it's drawing more people from all over. And I think maybe there's just more of
it exposes people to more richness and different kinds of.
And I think more people in the musician community, the better. And I think there's just
The
more
diversity and variety,
and more openness, and as opposed to maybe in the past where other women were more judgmental and sizing each other up and competitive.
Yeah.
So instead of competing, we're
like, let's collaborate.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm all about that. Like, I've never liked that feeling of being competitive with other women. It's all about like helping.
Let's make each other bigger. Yeah. Not smaller.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And another artist that really inspires me is Crystal Dos Santos.
Yeah.
Because she's like that.
Shout out to Crystal.
Shout out to Crystal. I love Crystal. She also went to the same school as me, not at the same time, but when we found out you went to that school too, it was a connection as well, because it's a crazy experience, that school.
She's amazing. We were listening to a song of hers earlier, and it's like, oh my God, like every time she sings that part, it's just like mind blowing. She's just like amazing.
She's incredible. And she really brought the community together at Guilt and through her cabaret under the Harlem Moon.
Yeah.
And,
so cool. Every Tuesday.
She's just so
Almost
multi-talented as well. So, and very open and generous and kind. And so I really gravitate towards people like that. And I think it's just amazing meeting other artists and female artists
in the community.
In the community. Yeah.
Well, I'm
like you guys.
So happy. Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm glad you feel that way about us.
Absolutely.
Any social media you want to drop so people can know more about you, follow you, get to hear about your gigs and when they can listen to your lovely voice?
Absolutely. You can follow me at Kärma Sounds on Instagram and Coco Jafro on Instagram as well, all one word. And I'm on Facebook as well. And my name is Karina Morin. So I always share everything that's my hub on my personal page, my both bands. But it could get confusing with all the accounts.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But still,
But that's me. Yeah. Karina Morin, and then Kärma Sounds and Coco Jafro.
Okay, so you want to, do you want to go as Kärma Sounds?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, salud.
Salud.
We're so happy to have you here. We're so happy that you accepted to come and talk to you.
What a
us
pleasure.
about you.
So nice to meet you.
So, salud.
This was fun.